My name is Lauren Cromer, and I think culture is fascinating. I think culture is based on a few very important aspects. So the first one being people, and the second is the environment that they live in. So to me, culture is about decoration. It's really about how people, inspired by their environment that they live in, it's how they decide to decorate that environment. And I think a big aspect of decoration in any place is architecture. How people decorate their homes, how people decorate, shops and just the buildings that they see every single day when they're walking down the street. If you think about Paris, has a very distinct architectural style, and it is influenced by its history, by the time it was built, but it has those big boulevards, the cobblestone streets, all of those things. You can just compare it and how it's completely unique to any other city out there. And I think San Francisco's the same, in the sense that it's very unique. We have a lot of more thinner buildings. We're kind of known for that. And I think that the reason for that is, the influence of the environment that San Francisco has. So, it's a city, so it's built to hold a lot of people, so thinner buildings can allow that. On top of that, the people that were building these buildings and building the city had to work with the environment and figure out a way to build buildings on these hills, build buildings in a city that was having earthquakes. So these are all aspects that other cities may have one or may have the other, but they don't necessarily have all of these concerns. And so that's what makes our city look the way that it does. Another aspect that I think is extremely important in culture is style. So right now, I'm going to show you, I'm wearing these UGG slippers. So to me, these are slippers. That's their main use for me. I don't really wear them, although I am outside right now. I've never worn them outside before. I wear them in my house. But someone who lives in Vail, Colorado, say, they might wear them out. They might wear them to dinner. They might wear them out in the town when they're doing, shopping for groceries. And I've kind of found living in San Francisco versus Kansas City, which is where I'm originally from, that's a difference here. People tend to focus more on style, and they don't really want to dress down as much. They're more concerned with looking good. In a town like Vail, Colorado, they may not have those concerns. These slippers are filled with lamb fur, so they might be less concerned about them being stylish for the public and more concerned with the fact that they're really warm and comfortable. And it's a town that's based on hiking and skiing and dependent on the weather, all of these outdoor activities. And so perhaps when they're not doing these things, they want comfort, they want warmth. I think because their lifestyle is based more on the environment dictates their clothing a little more than it may here, where we're more about, our environment is more about seeing other people because it's very densely populated. So maybe we're more concerned with what people think of what we're wearing, or what style we're putting ourselves in, because it kind of determines the quote-unquote type of person you may be. It just differs, and I think that is because of the place that we are in. New York is kind of more that way, and it's some people believe it's a similar city to San Francisco, so that's, an interesting component to think about. Another aspect of culture that I think is really important is just slang. So, not really. It's a decoration of language in a way, and it's not really how. It's more how people use a language, not what language they're using. So, if you think about the United States, we do have a lot of different dialects, which are more dictated, or they were more determined on our history. Louisiana tends to have a little bit more of a French influence in their pronunciation because they were once owned by France. But I'm talking more about slang, about specific words that are not used in certain areas. So this is the one that has definitely affected me. When I came here for the first time, I remember I had to ask what words meant because it was kind of being like a foreign exchange student in a way, because the culture is so different here than coming from Kansas City, Missouri. So, we use words like I didn't know what hella meant. It's a synonym for very that a lot of people here use. On top of that, one example for me specifically is that I have, I guess, started to say super. So instead of very, I say, I'm super excited, or he's super funny, things like that. And I went home, this past winter break, and people laughed and thought I was, joking. I don't know. They were just surprised to hear me use that word in that context. And they're like, why are you saying that? Or, bringing attention to the fact that I was saying that. And it's interesting because it's not something that I was doing on purpose. It's not something like fashion where you pick it out every day. It was just something that I said, not even realizing that I had said it, really. So, it's an interesting way for you to, not even realizing it, but kind of bring a brotherhood into a certain culture, so into a certain place. So, when my friends from home brought up that I was using an unfamiliar word for them, or, using a word in an unfamiliar way, kind of drew me closer to San Francisco and made me realize that I am a part of the culture here now, and maybe more than I had realized before, just that I am a little bit more San Francisco, not so much a Kansas person anymore, which is interesting. So right now, I'm up on my roof in San Francisco. Just wanted to show you that, I'm Lauren Cromer, and this is my culture.